So I just wanted to give you a quick update on some student loan stuff relating to the Save Forbearance. So we just found out that the Save Forbearance interest is going to start accruing again for everybody, and we believe it's going to start happening about August 1st. So if you've been in the Save Forbearance for quite some time, you may have noticed no interest accruing, but for the people in the Save Plan Forbearance, effectively Department of Education is going to start treating that not as this special case of forbearance like it's been treated in the past, with this passage of the, Big Beautiful Bill Act. Basically what's going to happen is interest is going to start accruing. The Save Plan Forbearance is not going to be sort of special anymore pretty shortly. So you're going to get reached out to. People are going to start encouraging you to apply for other income-based repayment plans that are offered. If you borrowed after 2014, I would highly encourage you to get into the new IBR plan. That's the same provisions as the pay-as-you-earn plan, 10% of income, 20 years till forgiveness in the private sector, 10 for PSLF. If you borrowed after October 2007, but before July 2014, you might as well give a try to get into the pay-as-you-earn plan, which will soon be phased out starting July 2026. They're going to start phasing out pay and moving everybody from that plan to the old IBR plan. But you might be able to get some lower payments between now and then by being on the pay plan and getting credit for forgiveness. And if you borrowed your first loan before October 2007, your best bet is to get into the old IBR plan or potentially evaluate the repayment assistance plan when that becomes available, presumably sometime in 2026. So just know that you're going to be getting communications from your servicer pretty shortly. A lot of people are on the Save Forbearance, like 8 million people. So you're going to get some pretty aggressive outreach that's going to tell you, hey, time to switch plans. And just know that this is going to happen anyway, and it's probably better to get forgiveness credit than not get forgiveness credit. Even if you're on PSLF, it's probably better to just bite the bullet and go ahead and get onto a plan. Keep in mind that for forbearances that last longer than 12 months, they can actually just ask you for your tax return from those affected years when you go to buy back. So a lot of people are like, well, should I just do the Save Forbearance if I'm on PSLF until I get, the ability to do buyback? Well, if you're ultimately going to have to turn over your tax returns anyway for the period in question to buy it back, it's a much better idea just to go ahead and get onto a repayment plan so that you can be sure of getting credit instead of relying on the buyback program, which may or may not be a thing by the time you apply for PSLF. So we're telling people, if you're on PSLF or want to do PSLF, just go ahead and get onto a different IBR program if you're in the Save Forbearance at this point, because we're past the 1 year. June marked the 1 year mark for the Save Plan Forbearance, because it's the buyback for PSLF is like if it's less than 12 months, they use just to lower the payments before or after. But if it's longer than 12 months, then they're allowed to ask for the tax return for the year in question. So we're already past that, so it's better just to go ahead and get onto a plan. And then for buyback requests that have not been processed, that's another reason to go ahead and switch to a repayment plan. Ultimately, if you pay more than 120 months of payments on PSLF, you're supposed to get a refund. So you might as well go ahead and get the clock moving and go ahead and build up credit for PSLF. And just to share a little bit of a personal update as to why my updates might be a little bit slower. I don't know if anybody's been following the news, but I live in Chapel Hill, and we dealt with a massive amount of flooding this past week. My house got flooded. A lot of the businesses my wife and I like to go to have been destroyed. I literally this morning rode through raw sewage in the streets. So just kind of maybe TMI, but I'm a human. Student loan planner is run by humans, and sometimes personal stuff comes and punches you in the face. And obviously, it's a very minor tragedy compared to what some of the folks in Texas are going through. But just know that we will have a lot of analysis for you. And I will do my best to get all this stuff post-passage of this bill out to you as soon as we can, as soon as I'm personally able to, while kind of dealing with, personal stress and property loss from those damaging floods from that tropical storm that hit our area. So anyways, we will try to do our best for you during this time. And, thank you for following Student Loan Planner. Thank you all for the support. And, we're going to do our best to make sure that your questions get answered in the comments below. If you have them, just post them. Thanks, everybody.